Hello and welcome back to episode 3 of my vanilla Let's Play of Space Engineers. Uh, on my way to this falling unknown signal because it's, well, closer to me than the silicon I went and mined overnight as I'm waiting for the sun to finish rising. I figure I'll get this picked up on a camera and then I'll make it back to my base and start work on some kind of little craft to buzz around looking for ores, ice. I seriously need ice. I still haven't found any and I'm running out very quickly. Nice pretty sunrise. But yeah, I think I'm going to build a little bare bones flying craft. Pirate salvage yard. Looks like that's on the planet's surface, not far off. While I was mining and doing things, waiting for the night to pass, I also found another one of these and got myself an enhanced grinder. Well, nothing special. Helps if I have my equipment up. This is an interesting little drop pod, though. I like the use of the access panels. Parachute hats and such. One of these days I'll figure out how to make nice looking crafts and such. They have done a much better job on the unknown signal drops though. Look way better than they used to. Let's not lose the light this time. So I'm pretty sure I missed a couple of the lights. There we go. Oh, and by the time I'm done, the sun is up. I could fly back very quickly, but like I said, I have not been having any luck on finding ice. I had even wandered off looking for a nearby silicon and walked like a kilometer and a half to get to that. Walking around in a desert is not the way you want to be doing mining and such. So some kind of little bare bones flying craft with cargo capacity that's not going to crash. You know, something that's got the lift to actually handle the 1.2 Gs of this planet. Now, if I were really good at building rovers, or even decent at building rovers, I would be able to build a rover and drive around all over the place, but I am really not good at that. In the least. But I know how to make sure I've got enough lift on a flying craft. My mistake with the starter pod itself was trying to rely on those flats, the flat atmospheric thrusters. Those are just not useful at all. Drop all this off. Like I said, I did do mining through the night. I've got cobalt right over here, iron and nickel here, and then the silicon over there, and that should be everything I need to make a basic atmospheric craft. Helps if I grab steel plates. So I just want to, yeah, it's off this side that I want to put it, I think. Go ahead and add another platform over here, a little landing pad. Put that there so it looks a little better. And of course I can hear people bouncing around upstairs. I hope that's not coming over the mic. I will see after I am done with the recording here. Still haven't seen any sabroids. I did turn them on, so it's probably just a matter of time before the spiders start coming after me. So because of that, I am keeping my gun on me at all times. It sounds like there's a wrestling match going on above my head, actually. Usually I don't hear them on Sunday mornings. Guess they skipped whatever it is they typically do. Let's see, I want to add in just a little bit more to this walkway. Just to make it a little thicker. So let's get a half block here. There we go. I think that's going to look pretty nice. I'm not sure if I will actually be welding any of this up or not. Like, I might be cutting the whole thing down and taking it with me when I leave. If I'm not going to do that, then I probably will weld it up. I'll just do my having to fly around upside down and get this all in a row here. Cannot be within the block space you are trying to place. And you need steel plates. I had 60 something of those. How did I already run out? Just need one more steel plate. I might be able to put this in like this. Probably not. Yep. Cannot do it. There we go. So I used up 30% of my hydrogen. If I come over here and look for the ice, I have 251. Oh, that actually didn't use any of it. Interesting. I guess 30% just isn't taking anything off of there. So right about the middle here, yeah, right here, I actually want to put in a connector for the time being. I just need power going through here. Let me actually take that off of there and put it in short the one plate. So I do have enough stuff for all of this. It's just all tucked into the cargo container here right now, but 13,000 iron, 1.1 thousand nickel, 197 cobalt, 1.4 kilograms of silver. Not silver. Silicon. I have not done any silver yet because I haven't found any silver or gold, and honestly I probably won't find that until I'm in space on my way to elsewhere. So let's grab what it has here. Boy, that's taking a bit. I actually had some stuff in there already though that I wasn't thinking about. I should have gathered things before telling it to craft. For instance, I think, yeah, I only need 13 steel plates now. 10 construction components. Got half of the tubes in there. So just wait for this to get done then. But once I get this built up, I'll be able to start working on little bare bones cargo ship with an ore detector on it, so I can use it as a scout. There we go. So, go back to the connector. Make sure it's giving me the small block variant. I want one of those to get started with. So let's get this put down. I'm getting really good at placing those. I still just feel this is the best way to start your ship, because you can start it out already connected and gathering power. Let's get that straightened up a little bit. And lock. There we go. I have no additional steel plates. Not surprised there. So let's see. Yeah, I kind of want to slope up from here, so it's pretty easy for me to see where the connector is and everything. The other option would be sneaking in batteries here. That could also work, as long as I make sure I'm not coming down too hard. I put one battery in front, one battery behind. Yeah, I like that. I'll do that. What? Does it not view that? Okay, those sides aren't good for placing it on for some reason. Well, no, it'll sit on the back one, but it won't over here. Okay, I'm confused. But let's just go ahead and do two off of the back there then. And then we will slope up the front. My goodness, all this jumping going on above me. Some of this I'm now going to have to weld up when I pick up the ship. That's fine. On top of this, we're going to want cargo container. I really like the modular cargo container an awful lot, so I'm going to use that one. Yeah, I did that a lot in my last series too. I just really like this cargo container. Mostly because of its connections. There we go. And then what kind of cockpit should I put up here? If I go with the fighter cockpit, it'll connect right into that. I always forget I can just middle mouse click to pull everything out. Need one more construction component. That was my bad for having used it. Let's actually go ahead and set up these batteries on here to be on recharge, and I'll get those built up after the cockpit. Like I said, just throwing this together as a bare bones craft. This little bit of armor down here is just to protect my connector a bit. Well, thank you, Storm, for coming in and choking me up like that. At least they gave us the ability to turn off lightning damage. It's not that I don't like building the lightning rods with the decoys to catch the lightning, more that I don't want to spend those kind of resources. And who knows how long this nasty storm is going to last. Oh, I also did build myself a cockpit back here for while I was AFK for different moments. Didn't want to be Sabroid food when they decided to pop it. I wasn't here because that would be my luck. Get these two batteries going. And that's going to take a little bit. Looks like the storm is clearing up though. Not enough that I can take my helmet off, but it's starting to. There we go. Now I can take my helmet off. Yay, I can breathe again. Pertam has crazy storms. There we go. That unknown signal is outside of my foot range, I am sure. So I will have to hope I can get this put together in the next 13 minutes so I can get there with enough time to spare to get whatever it has for me and tear it apart for parts. Yeah, 3.8 kilometers. And that is the direction I need to be going because I came from that way. I skipped and bounced and crashed over here. Me and Pertam have never been good friends. Okay. There we go. So I've got these two batteries now recharging. If I threw another cargo container onto here, how far would that overhang? A good bit. I don't need the extra battery. I'll need connector. A medium cargo container, on the other hand, would fit, with just a tiny overhang left over that I could actually use for putting a rear thruster on, for pushing myself abroad. Let's grab what I can of that, put the rest into production. I was able to grab nothing of that, apparently. On the brighter side of things, that means I've run out of all these extra parts that I had. But yeah, I don't mind the flat atmospheric thrusters for pushing force, so I could definitely drop one right here and that'll fit nice and fine. But for lifting, going to actually need proper lifting thrust. Alright, there we go. So that's 3.375 liters, 10,000 liters. So 13K, which is almost a small cargo container on here. I think that should work. But now it's time to start thinking about where to put thrust. Let's see, I could use the large thrusters. I'm probably going to burn my takeoff pad with that. If I use the smaller thrusters, I can anchor them up here if I had the steel to put them down. And that's going to be far enough away to not burn that. I'll just need several of them. That being said, I believe these are more effective than the large flat. So, don't know, figure it out. Let's get some steel, don't have any right now. How's my cargo doing on iron? I've only used 2.8K. That's not bad. So let's see, I've got this big flat one. Let's just go ahead and use that for primary drive thrust. I do want decent braking thrust, but I should be able to get away with like 6 of these small flats. Let's see, perhaps 12 of these will work. I mean, it'll definitely make sure that this thing is flying around, but let's go back to the small flats and make sure I've got some side thrust put on. Out of plates already. So I've got 2 here, 3 here. So that's going to be 5 in each side direction. Alright, I really hope that's going to be enough to keep it off the ground and working. So let's just go ahead and get these set up real quick. So I can put 2 more on here. Can put some of these steel plates in anyway. Oh, that was the end of it. Note, I still haven't put in a gyroscope. I may have just realized that, but I did realize it. And I still need to put on an antenna and ore detector. I think I'll put the ore detector down here, actually. Should be able to weld that up now. Ah, getting stuck on things. So I can't get down to that one at all, I don't think. Nope. That's fine. I can get to this one in the middle here. It's hiding. I think. Nope. Well, if I do it like this, I can get to both of them. There. Now that's all welded up. Now, this thing doesn't need to be fast. It just needs to be able to get from point A to point B, and from point B to point A carrying a load. Which, of course, I'll have to get this connector actually connected to things to get everything unloaded if I want to do so easily, but I can always do it by hand. Machines are taking their sweet time. I am probably not going to have this put together before that disappears. But that's fine. It's not the end of the world to miss some of those. Okay, so I can get most of these put together. There's just the one here that I have no parts for. Well, I guess I did have a steel plate for it. I'll just get that cooking. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, if I get this other one put together and then have it off of here, I'll have just enough room to get all of the flats on this other side of the ship. So there we go, there's all 8. And get everything going into production again. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video while I get the rest of this welded up, including the regular atmospheric thrusters here for lift. And then I will bring it back. We'll finish this off and see if we can't do a little test run with it. So, back in just a second. Alright, so I've got this all put together now. 5 gyroscopes, nice antenna, ore detector on the bottom there. Let's see if we can fly this thing first and foremost. Let's grab our batteries and set those to auto and take off. Well, it has 0 problems holding itself aloft. That is a good thing. Now let's go ahead and get everything set up on here. Atmo. Let's just get these all set up. Let's name this as Trash Scout. So back here, TS thrusters. Now let's grab everything that says backward on it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That should be all of them. So TS brakes. Alright. Get those out of here. Battery power. Hide those two. Don't need to see these on the terminal. I like to show the ship name. There we go. So now we can come in here, go to groups, put brakes on number 1, battery power, recharge on and off on number 9, gyroscopes 8, thrusters on off on number 7, ore detector and antenna. Alright. If we look at the ore detector, it's all the way up at its 50 meters. The only thing I could do on the bottom here that would be a good idea is go ahead and put a couple of magnetic plates. That way I can safely land this thing on the ground without hurting anything. Those don't take much to make. Get these put on here and set those up as landing gear. Maybe from this side. Aha. Okay, so let's grab these. TS landing gear. Not auto lock, used for parking. I should actually double check my connector. That should be used for parking as well. Okay. And there we go. Everything locks in nice. Alright. Now let's see if I can find some ice or something. Turn off the brakes, so I'm not wasting power here. I could also put a vent on the front here so that I'm not sitting in a low oxygen environment. Okay, that's nickel. I've got plenty of nickel. If I roll this out, then I can get a better view of where these are. That's silicon. What are you over here? I'm not marking things that I already have. Just more worried about finding actual ice. Okay, I did see a little bit over there, but that's not going to be ice at all. I need to find one of the oases. What's going on over here? I probably don't want to get that close to it because it probably has guns, and this little bare bones thing is not going to be able to take any shots. it doesn't appear to have any guns, because it would be shooting at me. But anyway, back to the look for an oasis. Oh, what is that I see over there? That looks like oasis trees. Probably want to throw on my brakes here. Don't want to come in too hot. Don't want to crash again. It'll be a very long walk back home. 6 kilometers. Yeah, if I find some ice, then I'll be able to start working on building a craft to get out of here and do a more effective start in space. Okay, that tree looks like it had nothing under it. And we've got a storm coming in. I did not put any kind of headlights on this ship at all. Actually, I didn't put any lights on this ship. So I should probably just land and pass by this storm. Or not. I guess the storm just ended just like that. Okay, so let's fly up around over here. I think I may actually go ahead and pause the video up again while I can... Whoa, there's something I don't already have. Let's mark that magnesium. I will certainly need some of that as I get off of this rock. Okay, there's magnesium marked. But like I said, I'm going to go ahead and pause the video for a minute. I'll bring it back if I find ice. Unless this is ice over here. Let's just take a quick look. And there's trees around, so it's worth a look. Oh, that's cobalt. This is likely going to be iron and nickel. Oh, silicon and nickel, close. In any case, I will bring this back as soon as I find a source of ice. Alrighty then, here is that oasis I've been looking for, without a doubt. Let's just go ahead and get down in here and we will see ice popping up. This is all nice and vibrant green. So this is actually a really big oasis. I like that. So let's go ahead and land down here. Parking engaged. Now I should have nothing extra in my inventory, just my tools. But let's go ahead and mark that up, excitedly of course, and get down into this grass and find that ice. Because I need a good chunk of this. Fortunately, I have my ship to be able to carry a lot more than I would be able to on my own. I'll take a little bit of stone. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. This, of course, is where we get to see, is this ship capable of flying back with a load? I really hope it is. But we'll see. Because I'm going to fill this thing plumb up. So, to not bore you with all the mining, let me go ahead and pause this up, and I'm just going to fill up the ship, and then we'll see if we can take off with that.
Inventory full.
Okay, so here we go. I've got both cargo containers full, a little bit of ice on myself. Let's go ahead and Turn these back on. Can she still fly? Well, looks like it. Let's go ahead and turn off everything other than per tab starter so I can find my way back a lot easier. Turn off brakes. So yeah, it's not super fast, but it is indeed staying aloft. Alright, so let's get this back over to the per tab starter here. The trash scout does its job pretty well. It likely will be either torn apart or just left down here. I might actually just go ahead and build up this base and leave it down here and perhaps come back to it later. Don't know. I'm 1.2 kilometers away. May as well start hitting the brakes because this thing is going to take a while to slow down. Oh yeah, definitely going to take a while to slow down. Because it is so full right now. Okay, there we go. I can let this drift a little bit. Less than 20 meters per second. This will be pretty easy to pull it in. I did not turn off my flashlight. There we go. Alrighty. Surprisingly, my first little build there worked perfect. So let's just go ahead and throw this into the O2H2 generator. Now I can recharge all my hydrogen that I spent mining up ice. Oh, and looky there. My video wound up being one full per tam day. So I guess I'll go ahead and call it here until next time. So if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and hit the like button down below. And if you want to see what I'm getting up to, there's always that subscribe button. My goodness, can't even talk. Have a good one.